speakers and participants. Would like to welcome our honourable speakers, Professor Dr. Kamaruzaman Yusof, as well as all the participants to our lecture series for University Course Science and Technology Thinking, UHIT2302, which was arranged by Academy of Islamic Civilization, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities. And today is our last lecture, which is a 8th lecture with the title of Humanizing Science and Technology. So without further ado, we will start lecture, and please Prof. Kamaruzaman, you can begin the lecture.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to all of you. Welcome lecturers from Academy Tamadun Islam, as well as students. Today is our last lecture, the final topic entitled Humanizing Science and Technology. So please continue giving as much as attention possible, because this is our last lecture, and then this is very important since this topic, humanizing science and technology, will be taking place in your daily life even for another 40 years or so. So now we are living in the IR 4.0. Previously, we already discussed about IR 1, 2, 3, and 4. With the coming of 4.0, you have first to understand what is the meaning of 4.0. You have to understand what are the basic principles of Industrial Revolution 4.0. And you also have to see where are you, and then what are the position that you can take when we are get involved in any activities during this particular period. So students, please be very attentive about this topic. The objective of our chapter, we hope that students will be able to explain the concept of humanizing science and technology. This particular term never used before. Previously, we are talking about science and technology. We are talking about how human can get the benefit from science and technology. But now, most of the activities that we used to do has been taken place by science and technology, especially when we are talking about artificial intelligence that we already discussed from the previous chapter. So at the same time also, as a student in Malaysia, we would like also to share some of the principle that has been laid out by the government, that is National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy. Hopefully, by understanding some of the main ideas of our National Science, Technology and Innovation, you will be able to also to bring this particular policy back to your country in order to benefit to all. So the process, the understanding humanity and technology meaning that the process of making a technology more enjoyable and suitable for human. This is the meaning. Yeah, all of those new technology, we want to make it people suitable for people, and people feel more enjoyable. We feel more, uh, we feel very released. We feel very comfortable with all of those modern technology that has been produced from time to time. The process of making a non-human technology like a human, or considering the technology as human. This is also, yeah, one of the meaning of humanity and technology, that is making a non-human like a human machine. Previously, we only know about how difficult, for example, yeah, to uh, manufacture one car only using human and tools. Later on, we saw how machine can continuously manufacturing cars with a very basic knowledge that the human have in order to help the machine work. It is also about to cultivate science and technology in the society. Many people think that science is a difficult subject or difficult field. So the goal is want to change the notion to simple and fun knowledge. So the purpose of human technology, humanizing science and technology, meaning that we want to make this science and technology and the new discoveries available to everybody. People don't think that this is very difficult. I don't want to learn about it. I still remember, yeah, in 1980s, where they don't have handphone. So the relationship, communication between one person to another, very difficult. This is the things that I'm pretty sure some of you are preparing for your videos. Yeah, you can feel that. You can see it. You can watch how difficult to connect to people, how difficult to communicate with people. For example, when I was in the UK in 1986, I cannot talk to my father and my family here. The only way that to communicate with them is to write letter. After 3 weeks, they will receive it, and then it's wait another month. I have to wait for another month in order to receive the replies from them. So it was long time ago, but now you can see that with the availability of handphone, for example, you can talk to your family easily at any time, although there is some problem due to time difference, but you still can communicate with them. You can talk to them, you can see them, you can feel what they feel from the body language, but you cannot smell what they are cooking now. I'm pretty sure that after some time, yeah, uh, scientists will be able to create some sort of special tool that we can smell, yeah, when we are talking to our parents while they are in the kitchen or in the toilet, for example. So, are you ready? The question is how deep we will go inside the machine, or how we feel that machine is really can help us. Or some people think that how bad is the machine to us due to a lot of negative impact of the machine that we have all around us. So these are the example of how the humanizing robots represent the robot as a human, They know how to humanize robot. They have smile, yeah. Sometimes the robot cries and so on. They have physical appearance and interaction. The first robot, I still remember, they are not like human being. They are like robots. But now, yeah, as I previously discussed, when we go to some places, their robot is very look really human. Probably later on, yeah, when we manage to humanize robot, yeah, they give some sort of emotion about robots, expectation, and then some of the implication of humanizing robot to society, that is a robot become friends. Yeah, probably one day robot have to have citizen in any country. Why? Because whenever we bring them together, we take them to the aeroplane and cross the border, they will know and they will keep everything. Previously, those who have a very sharp uh, mind only can keep everything whenever they are traveling. But nowadays, because of robot having almost everything more better than the human being, probably robot also have to carry certain citizenship from certain countries. It is also something relation with healthcare environment. For example, in 1959-58, the French Minister of Health issues a humanization de hospital, meaning that circular stating the need to humanize hospital, hospital care under universal healthcare system. Because the French people, they start to believe, even in 1950s, that one day they have to humanize the healthcare system. In early 1980s, for example, we saw the idea of humanizing hospital leading to the restructuring of hospital services. The idea started in the UK after the war era, and then here, even in Malaysia, in MAIPS, whereby not many people are there enough to deal with those who are affected with COVID. So they send robot, sending food, for example, checking the safety, and then taking all the images using robots. So at the end of the day, we have to accept that robot will do a lot of things that we used to do, and later on will give an impact in terms of workforce in the society. According to our Humanizing, he said that the people should not abuse modern technology and visual communication as a tool to damage the country. This is what our king mentioned in his decree. So it's mentioned clearly. It's happened now even how so many people use modern technology to damage others, use social media to pressure other people, to create uncertainties. And now we are facing with the period whereby so many people create in the social media on the issues of anti-vaccine. So in Malaysia, we have a very strict law. It was last week whereby, yeah, one woman has been charged and have been given fine for 5,000 ringgit. Why? Because he viral some information, some wrong information about vaccine. So all of us must be very careful. Although probably in some countries, in your country, they don't have any specific law, yeah, to abuse people, to share some of the unnecessary news, or telling back to others, or some cartoon, for example, that will create conflict and to cause fighting and quarrel among people. So excessive use of internet and gadget causes poor memory because over reliance on technology. This is very basic knowledge that everybody knows. Even now also some people, because they are very dependent to internet and gadget, they even cannot memory or cannot memorize their own telephone number. This is the things that will cause a very negative impact due to very excessive dependent on the technology. Later on, in the short term, yeah, we can see that memory becomes less effective. Anything that we need, even want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's to do some sort of very basic maths also, we have to use the calculator. So we have to be very careful on that in order to have a very strong and effective mind. We have to use it as what we discussed in our chapter 1 and 2. It is also about the misuse of communication technology that is spreading fake news. That's why in Malaysia we have our own special tool to check whether this particular news is really right or wrong. It's really happened or it is fake. Examples also, if you can see that of nuclear weapons destroying humans and the environment. Yeah, this is the video that you can watch it later. So what are the implications of technological advancement? First, leading to a reduction in manpower. This is the things that very important. You are going to live here to live in your own society for probably more than 60 or 50 years to go. So you have to be very careful. You have to understand that this new era will lead to a reduction in manpower and require cost for the use of such technology. For example, IR 4.0. It will reduce the manpower when new technology will be taking place of human power. For example, when we have smart robots everywhere, we don't need cleaners. We don't need people who are working as a low wages workers, and then does not require assistance from employees or handling from many employees. But we also have to understand that this particular technological advancement will have a higher cost due to constant improvement and also due to the improvement to the machine. From my reading, you can see that in 10 to 15 years to come, there are certain jobs that very likelihood to be replaced by robots. Apart from that, yeah, if you look into this slide, you will see that although although people are using artificial intelligence, in their activities, we still need manager entrepreneurs, because this managerial job in the field of entrepreneur trading business cannot be replaced with robots. Why? Because a robot cannot discuss. Robot have only one-way communication, but cannot discuss, cannot think, cannot give new ideas. Robot also cannot help people to decide which one is better, which one is good in terms of managing the company. We need also 0.1, meaning that only 0.1% of any job related to manager entrepreneurs will be affected. For example, the same also research AI, artificial intelligence scientists. We need more scientists which is related to artificial intelligence. Their position is very high. Only 0.1% of them will be affected, meaning that this particular job will be needed in 10 to 15 years to come. Same also to healthcare psychologists. When we are talking about healthcare, they might reduce the number of doctors, but they cannot reduce the number of healthcare psychologists when dealing with the heart and mind of the people. Those who are insane, for example, that one, the artificial intelligence cannot help them. Same also manager, hotel and accommodation manager or owner. It consists of 0.5% only will be affected. So we still need manager, hotel and accommodation manager. The number is very high. That is another 99.5%. But we don't need cleaner. Later on, probably robot will do the cleaning. Robot will be the, for example, the people who are working at the information office, for example. But we still need manager. We still need manager. Same also professional clergy member. This is very interesting. When I read through, I found out that those who are involved in religious activities, for example, in the case of the Muslim imam, Bilal, school teachers, religious teachers, probably in the church also, there are some group of people, churchmen, who father or nun, still very play their role, their important role, because this type of job cannot be done by artificial intelligence or by robot. CEO also the same. Chief Managing Officer also, CMO also the same. Same also education, special needs education teacher. Meaning in the field of education, nowadays, when we are facing the pandemic, this is the beginning of the end of the face-to-face classes. Later on, those who would like to be a student at UTM, no more coming to UTM probably except in 1 or 2 semesters only. The rest, they just stay in their home, in their country, so they can save money, can save their travel expenses, they can save everything. No need to find nasi mandi, for example, in the Arab restaurant, because they have already. The parent can get it anywhere. Those who like to eat couscous, for example, in Northern Africa, they don't need to be worried, because why? All the classes will be managed in the online. But for the special needs education teacher, for example, those who have some problem, with impairment, those who have problem blind, for example, this particular group of teachers, they still need it. So you can choose what you are going to be after you finish your study. Same also education, senior in education, senior professional at educational establishment. Yeah, those who are managed, yeah, like vice chancellors, dean, that one cannot be done by a robot. We need dean who are having a very high standard of humanity, impartiality, and then we need lecturers who are really very passionate and love, yeah, to their uh, teaching and learning process as well as their student. Healthcare also the same. In education, secondary education, teaching professional, and then the list that is chief technological officer. After 0.09, as I put here, yeah, there are a long list of category job type, likelihood of replacement in 10 to 15 years. Yeah, among the lowest, I mean, those who are very vulnerable because of new technology, yeah, they call it, for example, yeah, driver, for example, cleaners, and then low labor wages, yeah, those are the people who will be affected, and then they need to understand, they have to know, they have to think how about their position in 10 to 15 years time. So what are the positive impact of artificial intelligence? Yeah, there are some cause of that cause job displacement. I have mentioned already. Some temporary challenges to our society. AI will undoubtedly be a boon, meaning everybody have to have no choice but to join the artificial intelligence field, and then have to follow, have in IR 4.0. AI will liberate us to spend time. So from the Western perspective, they believe that because we don't need to do our routine job, no need to do cleaning, no need to do washing, yeah, no need to do ironing, for example. So we have more time to do what we love. Some people like to go for fishing, they can go. Some people like to go for uh, picnic, they can go. Some people like to travel, they can go, apart from this COVID time. Second, we can do what we are good at. Some people, although they are, for example, they are lecturers, but some of them, they know, they like to do or to present something in the YouTube or in Facebook Live. They like to write so many things. Their field related to their field in the Facebook. So this is the time that we can spare some time what we are good at. The third, give us much free time to think, because of we manage our time properly. We manage to think. We have to use our brain. We have also much time to love to each other and enjoy our life. This is only if you look into the time that we are now, although some people have some difficulties, yeah, due to losing their job, unemployment, don't have something to eat, for example, but they are still, if you they think properly, this is the beginning of the new era in this world, whereby we have to accept that this is the type of life that we are going to have in 10 to 15 years to come. So we have to be very creative, we have to be very innovative, not only selling food, yeah, face to face, yeah, in the food store, but we have to think how to sell our products using Food Panda, using Grab, yeah, using online, so on and so forth. So with that, finish our discussion on the artificial intelligence and how it's helped to humanize science and technology. Now we go to the second and the last topic that is National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy. Although this particular policy has been introduced by the Malaysian government, but it is good also to understand a little bit. I will go in general about this particular policy. The theme that they use is that utilizing science, technology and innovation for socio-economic transformation and inclusive growth. So the purpose of this policy is to help people, to transform people economically and socially, and also to have a very inclusive growth, meaning that the growth that we plan for the next 5 years onwards is not only for a certain group of the people, for those who are helped, but also to include the B40, the people who are really in need for the betterment of the Malaysian population at large. So, okay. So this is some of the point that the government of Malaysia is trying to introduce, that everybody, every group of the people, all channel, all ministries must be able to work together and to combine in order to bring about socio-economic growth and changes. The vision is to develop a country as a developed country of science for socio-economic transformation. That one is mentioned already. The mission is to develop and mainstream science, technology, innovation at all levels. So the purpose not only to give some money and to help people in the field of science and technology only, but try to convince the rest of the population that everybody must involve in this activity, because in one way or another we have no choice. Later on, we have to use science and technology and innovation in all activities. So they have some strategic thrust. For example, the first strategy is promoting the field of science and scientific and social and commercialization, research and development, R&D and C. So this is what already done by the government, but this particular move or strategy has been stopped for the last 2 years or so due to pandemic. But I'm pretty sure that when the pandemic is over, the government will continue to promote this particular field, not only scientific but social and commercialization, research and development. So when we are talking about R&D, it's not only the scientific field, but it's also involved social and economic aspect. The second thrust is developing, nurturing and polishing talents, meaning that first the government want to find a group of people that they can develop and then nurture them, and then after that polish their talent, not only through one aspect of knowledge that they have, but we need to first to have a people who are multitasking, who can do selling activities through internet, but those who are also can help people in the kampong area, in the village, to develop the special app so that they also can be part of the process in this particular policy. And then ultimately the society will be a very scientific society, and then they will be able to bring about growth as well as employment in the society. Later on, the Malaysian society will be living in a very prosperous way according to our own values and moral standards. The third strategy is to encourage and enhance the industry. When we are talking about the industry here, in Malaysia, for example, same also I think in another country, more than 70% of the industry came into the small medium entrepreneurs, SME, or we call it in Malaysia ya, IKS, industri kecil and sederhana. So this particular group who are really giving the country more than 70% of the GDP, these people must be given a very must be given a full support to them in order to bring about changes, not only in the process that they are following, but also in the product that they are going to prepare, so that this particular product will be good enough, will be up to the standard, and then later on they are able to export it, yeah, outside Malaysia, and then they will be very successful entrepreneurs. So number 4 is we have to make sure that there is a good governance, yeah, a good system to transform science and technology in industry. This is very important. Why? Because we might be able to bring about the advancement in science, technology, and industry, but without good governance, without law and order, without special regulation that's set by the government, people might be able to use their ability, yeah, to control others, to bring about changes that will benefit them, but not benefit to the people at large. So we need also a very good system of governance whereby we can show, yeah, that we are able to bring a very good processes, yeah, to process everything, and then we manage also to find ways how to solve the problem. Later on, we will be the leader in transforming the society, especially in the science, technology, and industry. Number 5, yeah, that is to encourage and forcing awareness. Yeah, the problem with people in the kampung area, for example, in Malaysia, we still fail to encourage them or to bring about awareness amongst them that nowadays there will be no traditional way to selling things. There is no traditional way for good production, good quality, and good quantity. So these are also the things that the government is trying very hard to create public awareness that science technology is so important for the overall development of society and the country. Without this, there will be a big gap between those who have and those who don't have, and then later on we will create another problem, yeah, that is economic desperation, and then later on this will create unnecessary social economic impact, because our aim is to create a scientific, innovative, and progressive society, yeah, in this country. So if not, this will be a very big challenge to government as well as to the people. The last strategic thrust, that is to strengthen international strategic relation. We believe that whatever new food that we prepare, for example, whatever new discovery that we have, if we want to keep this new advancement in our society, Malaysian society population, we have only 32, 36 million now. So if we manage to produce some new products, the amount of product that we are going to sell is very limited. For example, we have a very good neighbor, Indonesia. Their population is so big, the biggest Muslim population in the world. So if, for example, the Malaysian people here can produce one type of food that are also eatable, and this is appropriate also to that particular group in Indonesia, we cannot imagine, instead of selling only 1 million product a month, we will be able perhaps to sell 100 million per month due to the mass population that Indonesians have. So those are the things that we need also from the Malaysian perspective to strategize how to strengthen our international strategic relations. So I hope that all of you, whenever you go back to your country, try to think how to help the Malaysian government by importing a lot of local products that you already try here. You feel very good with that. You feel very comfortable. So please help us in order to market our products to your country after you go back to your own country. So to conclude, I would like to thank the coordinator, Dr. Muhammad Nakib, for giving me the opportunity to give lecture series on the subject. I hope that this particular subjects and lectures that I am giving will benefit to all. And please remember me in your doa. Thank you very much again for your attention. Hope to see you again in another series. Although this is the last series, yeah, probably we can make it in another place, in another course. That's all. Thank you very much again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Kamaruzaman, for the lectures of Chapter 8 entitled Humanizing Science and Technology. And now we have reached the end of the lecture, and as I mentioned before, this is the final lecture series of Chapter 8. I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Kamaruzaman, and thank you very much for your times, and we appreciate it very much. And for the student, we hope that you can understand and learn something from this lecture. So with that, we would like to end this lecture. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Okay, Prof. Terima kasih.